Hey everyone, welcome back. I'm Scott here with the Brick Scope Review. Today we have Optimus Prime, set number 10302, with 1,508 pieces. He retails at $180, released this summer, and he's the 18 plus lineup. So this is meant for the big kids, and it really is for that target demographic because this is the 1984 G1 version of Optimus Prime. And he is mainly tailored for those 35 to 40-year-olds that grew up with that series originally. And I think this one does justice for that fan club, for that key demographic. And for an 18-plus set, it was a very cool build. That being said, you do get that sophistication with the manual. You get the little plaque over here with details about Optimus Prime. And you get a few doodads and whatnot added with the set. Overall, I think he looks amazing. I love mechs, especially. I love Gundams, and I build those along with Legos. And I was really excited to build a set because I was going to see some mech design building in this one. Now, Lego already does a lot of mechs, especially for Ninjago and especially for Bionicles and other buildable figures. Now, they're not really mechs, but to me they are because they use a lot of the mech framing, especially in Gunpla unit for use those. If you ever built them, you know they have a wonderful skeleton that goes underneath and then the armor goes on top. And so to me, Bionicles were always a really good technical version of that. So I was really hoping that this set would actually have that in there. But this is supposed to be a copy of the actual toys that came out in '84. And that being said, it does not really follow more of a Gundam design. It follows an actual action figure design. And by that, I mean like action figures are a hunk of plastics with little connecting pieces and joints to make sure they can move and bend in certain ways and articulations. And they're not like with Gundams, which are very different in my opinion, especially since Gundams are mainly designed for full articulation and movement, well, depending on what version you buy, depending on the grade, but this one very much takes the cake for that. And it really does have a very toy-like mentality in the build, and it was designed with mainly two ideas, was that it was to transform and to look like a toy as much as possible. So I think that's very interesting that Lego made their own variation of a toy figure and rebuilding it with their toys. So it's a toy within a toy. And I think, if I remember correctly, that the designer of this set worked for Hasbro, and he actually designed Optimus Prime figures and Transformer figures before he went to Lego, so they had the expertise in the field when it comes with this figure. That being said, let's go ahead and take a deep dive into the rest of Optimus Prime here. Now, as you can see, Optimus Prime here is a very lengthy and girthy fellow here. He's very heavy. He has some weight to him. And honestly, if this was just a statue, it's very well designed. And it looks great as that. He is posable. He does have some wonderful Technic pieces here, as you can tell in the arms sockets here. He does have Technic pins, some axle work here in the midsection, which to me is a very big flaw. There is a click piece here, and it has that round piece, which I don't really know the name of. I apologize. But it has a click one here, and that helps rotate his body around, which you can't really do that when he's in his full form. It's mainly there to transform, but when he's in his robot state, he pretty much is a very easy moving statue, but he can't do a lot of movement when it comes to articulation. So not a lot of playability and not a lot of posability for him. You can move his arms to a great degree, forward and back, mainly because that is meant for transforming. And he has some wonderful articulation here in his hands and forearms. Head also moves around a lot wonderfully. You can do some posing with that guy. Can't really go up that much, but he can go up a little bit just because that piece does flip over. His chest does open up to reveal the matrix of leadership, which I didn't really know as much about this. Thankfully, well, that's popping out. Thankfully, the instruction manual has a lot of details about this. And his hands also are wonderful. And these things come off. And the reason why they come off is so that you can replace it with some of the accessories that come with it. I will come in a minute. Now, I do want to point out something, though. If I was to change something about the hands, I would simply do this. It does have a 1x3 brick here. And you can simply take this off You can take this off, and you actually have more articulation in the fingers, which that's really cool. And you can do stuff like this. All right. I did it while I was building it. There we go. You can have Optimus Prime fucking off, and you can also do Cowabunga, or you can't really do 2 in the pink, 1 in the stink, because he doesn't have 4 fingers. So that's a rip. But awesome. Other than that, the torso itself is pretty sturdy. On the back end here, we have an accessory. We have his jetpack, which easily clicks on and off. And it's a good design thing. It comes off when you transform him, but it's a good design idea. That's a thing. It's a good design idea because you can take this off and you have this ugly back that's very open. And it really serves the purpose of closing that up. If not, you have a lot of gaps, which I think is the biggest downfall. And we'll talk about that when we go into transforming mode. But it looks great when you click it back on because it holds in there. And that's how you get his head further down when you come back around. But with the jetpack on, it looks wonderful. Now let's go to the bottom section of the build. Now onto the lower half of the body, you have a very sturdy foundation. The legs do have a lack of articulation because of that, and that's fine. You're not really expecting to do full battle poses, but you can pose him. His knees do not bend. They instead rotate around, which I can do without messing up the joints in his hip. You have some hip joints with nice click pieces over here, and those go up and down like so, but not all the way because you are hindered by the hip and the mid-torso, which stops. You have some gas tanks which do move and rotate for transforming purposes, so that's pretty neat, and they look wonderful in that beautiful metallic chrome lacquer color on that as well, which really does clash well with the rest of the set. We do have 2 sticker pieces right here on the legs, and we have the feet here, which do have some articulation in it. These 1x4 plates pop off very easily whenever you move him, and the feet do have some Technic rubber stoppers on the bottom for grip on any surface. And his feet has some Technic rubber stoppers on the bottom to stop and to be able to hold him up on any surface, so no sliding, which is cool. You see his feet. And like I said, these 1x4 do break off very easily. You do have some articulation here, just a little bit side-to-side stuff, just so you can position him. And for that, he doesn't do much. I mean, it's there for posability. You can put him in some stances, but as for full movement, it's not really there. You do have the 2 click right here for the transforming. And on the side here, you have 3 out of 6 rubber tires in their rims, which are printed pieces as well. And those are cool, but they do get in the way of moving up the hip any further. So the legs do suffer from that. Now these leg pieces are very sturdy and very thick pieces of Legos. They're very layered out and intricately designed so they can hold the tires, hold the clicks, and be very sturdy for the rest of the design. It also has the joints here and there and there. So that was a fun to build. Honestly, I wasn't that bored doing so. Usually people have a problem building legs or sets pieces that are in repetition, especially if we're building like an AT-AT. You're going to build those legs 4 times over. But I wasn't that bored building the legs in this one. It's actually kind of interesting to see how they did that and what they did for it. And as you can tell, they use a lot of flat tile pieces here, especially in the back, just to have more of the clean look. Overall, I'm impressed with LEGO's attempt here to make a Hasbro toy. It's very studs free to a certain degree. Use the flat tiles around the entire figure to maintain a action figure look. They have 1 printed piece for almost every sticker, so it's a good 50-50 here. The Autobot symbols are printed along with those arrows, and there's 1 more in the back here, and it's a pretty good deal. The eyes are also printed as well, and it is missing a nose bridge on there, which kind of throws it off of the face, makes it look a little wonky. But once you get over that, it looks pretty damn good. I will have to say that that probably was one of the determining things about me getting the set, was doing early promotional footage and videos of it, along with pictures, that I didn't see nose bridge and the face looked weird, and I didn't really want to get it, but I got it anyway because it's cool. So I recommend that for anybody. Just get over that, just get over it. It's okay. They do the best they can, probably could have done better, but it looks pretty damn good. And they use a wonderful set of colors to keep it maintaining to the original. You have the red, the light bluish gray, and you have the dark blue with an awesome chrome plated pieces over there to give it some extra detailing. And some translucents for the headlights. There are some translucents in the middle, and they look pretty good. Everything's pretty solid on the set. I'm very satisfied with the overall presentation. Now, before we get into the truck mode or transformative mode, we're going to go into some of the little accessory pieces that come with the set. Accessory wise, we have a Energon X, his Ion Blaster, an Energon Cube, his plate, and the Matrix of Leadership, which we already saw. Out of all of these, this is the most useless. I get it as a collector. It's cool to have the Energon, and it's a good little Easter egg, but I just feel like it's an unnecessary piece, and it took away from the building experience to have a moment to build this. And you can't really do anything with it. You can't really store it anywhere. And unless you possibly keep it by the bay of his feet, it easily to lose. Just doesn't make any sense really to me. But again, this isn't really targeted to me as a Transformer fan, but as a Lego fan, I just don't really care for it. I think it's unnecessary and it can be lost easily. Other than that, the rest of the pieces here are very awesome. You have some wonderful translucent orange pieces that have the Energon Axe. It is very not well put together. I don't like that they have the one piece here, but they don't have this piece right here. They could have done that a different way, I think. It looks kind of wonky. Has an axle piece here to be added to the hand, which you will take the hand off and put it on, but simply I just fold the hand away and do that to make it look better. And you have the Ion Blaster here as well, which looks amazing. I think it looks really good, and it fits very well. Also, it can move around to be stored, especially in the transformative state. So again, these have purposes and they can fit on the figure even when you're not really going to use everything. You can use all these at one time, which I do, so I don't lose the pieces. And then you have the last nameplate, which has some information for Optimus Prime here, which very much has that RPG-like stats, which I like that a lot. And that's pretty much all we have for accessories. Now let's put them on them. So like I said, some of these pieces can click on easily, others require removal of pieces. His hands do come off, so you can put on the Energon X, and I simply don't do that. I just move his hand around, like so, which doesn't look that bad, but then that way you can just fit the axle right in, and boom. As you can tell, the weight really isn't there. It kind of puts the offset. As you can see, the weight can be kind of heavy, and the joints here can be easily clicked down and fall. Now, like I said, it looks kind of dumb with that, but I think having it like that is a lot easier than having pieces off and losing them. So his heat axe looks pretty good. And then on the back here, you put the Ion Blaster right in his hand, and it just clicks on to his arm, just like that. And then you can have him posing with both weapons. Overall, really cool. And like I said, I keep these on him when I pose them because I don't want to lose them, and I think they look great. You can take off the hands again, but don't. You will lose them. And like I said, you really don't have anything to do. You can't really do anything with the Energon Cube. It's just here. I thought you can maybe store it in the back where the jetpack is, but it doesn't really fit. It just sits there. So it's kind of pointless, in my opinion. And then you have his plate, which goes in the bottom. Right. Now let's answer the question everybody's dying to hear. Yes, he does transform. He is a transformer. And they took a lot of liberties to ensure that we do not have to disassemble him. That comes with pros and cons. The pro being no disassembly here, so you're not losing pieces. The con is you have a lot of open pieces, a lot of empty spaces, and a lack of articulation in the entire set. As I said earlier, in the torso area, you do have some openings in the back where the arms will flow into. And with the mid-torso, you do have some unsturdiness right here where that easily pops off because it's only connected by two stud pieces on the bottom here, right there. So this has to click on and can easily pop off during times of movement. But they do that so you can transform it. My weakest spot, I think, in the whole figure is right there in the middle. And the legs lack of proper articulation because I need to transform and click into place. That being said, the transforming ability is really cool. And while building it, I was transforming him as I went to make sure I knew how to do it correctly and all pieces fit and did it well. So when I finished the product and I finally transformed him in his finished state, I was very impressed. Now let's go ahead and transform him. Quick rant, I want to point this out while I was transforming his back. This part right here, that's what I was talking about earlier. It doesn't stay on and it falls off very easily on this click plate here. There's an axle beam that runs through here for support, but that's probably my biggest complaint with this whole build overall is that I don't like it. It keeps happening and it pisses me off every time we do it here. A lot of hand movement here because I'm so mad about it, but whatever, get over it, I guess. It just seems like a bad problem, bad design. I think they could have done that better because when you pivot, he just falls off very easily. Then you got to put this piece here. So, I don't know. It's not picture perfect, but it gets the job done. So there it is. That's him transformed. Very easy thing to do, not hard. I love that. Like I said, I'll take the cons with it because the ability to transform him without having to disassemble or really lose any pieces or do anything major is a fucking win. This alone is probably the highlight of the set. Also notice how I put that piece on wrong. I just noticed that in the video. That's funny. Anyway, yes, a highlight of the whole set. And it looks pretty good. There are some heavy gappy areas, especially right here where the arms are at. Like I said, you're going to have those moments. The pieces do not stick very well. This part actually does come off because we have a change plate. Let me take that off real quick. So, you know, not 100% disassembly, but overall, to get him to the place you need to be, it does the job very well. You have some nice insides here with the windows and the doors. You have your little side view mirrors. You have your exhaust here. You have your gas tanks. You have everything else. And then the piece of resistance is that you would take this off, the ion blaster, and you simply put it in here. And you do like a slide thing with it. I don't remember exactly how that went on. You slide it in there somehow. 1 second. Okay, we have to bust open the manual real quick because I forgot how that fucking works. How does that even get in there? Oh, it's upside down. That's what you do. Okay. Well, let's go back to it. So yeah, you just put that on and you just slide that over. I said you put that on and you slide it over. There, just like that. It's good enough. There, just like that. Good enough. Sorry for all that. Man, that's really bothering me. Cool. Fine. Just like that. Looks wonderful all around and works very well. And yeah, that looks pretty solid. I mean, I'm very impressed with the ability to do it. He can roll. He doesn't grind into the ground when he does so. My weakest spot still is the mid-torso part here because that easily flops on and off and can break. The hands here fold in, and I guess I can fold them better in the way I did that. Let me fix that out, actually. Cool. The hands fold in like so. And they can be kind of tricky when it comes in because they can stick out like a sore thumb. Just like that. But from the front view, he looks pretty mean and aggressive. And you still have the matrix of leadership right there, which looks like it's a little bit out of place. Here, let's move that around. Well, you know, can't win them all. But yeah, that's really all I can say about this transform state of Optimus Prime. It's really cool. It looks well, it does the part, and it does a good job of doing it. So, not 100% disassembly free, as we saw with that piece change out. And you can put the ion blaster right there. The heat axe does not go anywhere. And the lovely jetpack does not go anywhere either. So, if you're going to do this, you're going to have some pieces you're going to put away, especially if you put them on display. You might want to put these in a bag or two or put them in wherever your storage is, especially this useless piece of crap. Put that somewhere, I don't know. But I don't see a lot of people probably transforming him or keeping him in this state just because he looks more impressive as an actual figure. And, well, it does what it did, so I'm not mad at Lego for that. Good job, guys. You nailed it. Look, Lego didn't fuck this up. They did a good job. I'm very pleased with it. Lego fans and Transformer fans alike should be happy with this. It's not a total nightmare. It's not a mess, and you can do a lot of cool things with this. It's very user friendly. The transforming is very easy because they try to keep that very broad for everybody able to do it, and you don't have to disassemble, even though some liberties were made and it has some cons about some design details and build details. Other than that, it was a good experience. I recommend this for anybody, Transformers and Lego fans alike. Get it for your collection. For $180, it is a little pricey. It's almost at a $200 price point, but let that extra $20 off this kind of set in your mind and win you over, because when you get the final product, you're actually very pleased. And for 1,500 pieces, it almost fits that bracket. Damn you, inflation. I really enjoy this set. He looks amazing. He's cool. I like mechs, so it's nice to have it. And for the Transformer, novice in me, it's nice to have. I think they did a damn good job. Go buy it. Go buy another one. Have at least two. Have one in the box. Have one for later, because who knows when this go collective-wise. Because Autobot pieces are very much printed, and those can go up later on. I enjoy it. It's just a really good set. Now, do I wish for more? Yes. For Starscream, I don't want a Megatron, honestly. Unpopular opinion, I don't care for Megatron. I would rather have a Starscream. I would love to have a jet to transform into, and it'd be awesome how big that could be. And maybe even Soundwave. I think that'd be cool too, because I always like Soundwave. He was one of my favorite Decepticons. And that'd be a good little piece to go with it. Now, obviously, you would need an accessory piece with him, so Megatron will probably be next. But yeah, my vote's in for Starscream. Go buy this set. $180. 10302. It's a good job. Subscribe. Come back for more. Thanks for watching. Really, I do appreciate it. All of you, every view I get, I really appreciate it. So thank you. Keep coming back for more, and I'll keep making more. And just like our boy over there is thumbs up for that one. Thanks for watching. Come back. And until next time, this has been Scott.